Hello, children. Today we're covering Ermes Gasparini, the gladiator out of Italy. 7-4 in the super heavyweight matches. His only losses are Levon twice and Devon, so that pretty much solidifies him as the number 3 super heavyweight if his only losses are to the number 1 and the number 2 super heavyweight. What's pretty impressive is he's a WAF champion at 90 kilograms. So that 130, 140 kilograms he weighs now is a far cry from the 90 kilogram frame that he was sporting about 10 years ago. So I'm guessing he still has 90 kilogram sized hands. Let's see, 6 blowouts out of his 7 super matches, about 54%. His only 2 losses on blowouts, again, the number 1, the number 2 super heavyweight. Okay, as far as versatility comes, anybody want to guess what he's going to do in his very next match, or probably every single match from now on? Top rolls all the time. Starts every match with a top roll. We'll transition to a press after originally hitting that top roll. Of course, he pressed a lot against Michael Todd. He's got a few presses against Levon, and I believe I should have prepared for this. I believe Vitali as well, but you just have to check that, or check that on your own. All right. He's running 2.9 matches per round. That's pretty high. That's probably higher than what I've seen before. 53% of his matches are in the straps, so he's about 50-50. He's equally devastating whether he's in the straps or out of the straps. The referee's grip, not too often. Maybe a little over a third of his matches are in ref's grip, so he must be pretty easy to set up with. He doesn't fight his opponents on grip quite a bit because everybody seems to be comfortable gripping him. Maybe it's because he still has those 90 kilogram hands and he's in a super heavyweight category. All right. He wins 20. His rounds are 25-16. Wins and losses are all pins. Not too many fouls. He won 2 forfeits. That was the Levon match. He doesn't really foul out that much, so he's got pretty good elbow control. Near side farce, he didn't have that many matches outside the straps. So it was 8 matches outside the straps. So these numbers are low, but he does seem to do better without the buckle than with the buckle. So, but it's hard to say because you can't run a basis with his matches without the straps. Ready, go. It's Italian. This is funny, man. Don't they make like Ferraris in Italy? Doesn't Italy have like all these super fast cars? The gladiator is not a super fast arm wrestler. Wins 13 ready goes, loses 52 of them. 34 of them I couldn't make a call on, so not a speedy guy. Flash pins. Not a lot of flash pins out of all those rounds either. So what? Look, he's got 21 wins. He's only flash pinned 7 times. This is so he's not super fast. He's not super powerful, but he's very strategic. Okay, he hits to a position, gets comfortable, then starts going to work on how he's going to win the match. So very, very technical. Even though he's only got, well, not that he only has, but he only uses his top roll and then his press. But he's a very thoughtful, well-planned arm wrestler. Pretty impressive considering he's, like I said, coming from the 90 kilogram class. I came from the 90 kilogram class. I'm thinking I got a new goal here. Thanks, Ermes. Okay, so much for the stats. I don't know how many of you are familiar. This is a very famous book, The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. For those of you who haven't read it, I'll basically summarize it. It's about this arm wrestler in Cuba, this guy right here named Santiago. He wins a big match in a tournament in Casablanca. The match started Sunday morning. It ended Monday morning. So for 24 hours, he's arm wrestling, who was the biggest, toughest arm wrestler out of Cienfuegos, which is another city in Cuba. This match took place in Casablanca. So this guy is basically the Lavon of Cuba. And Santiago beat him to become known as the champion. And look at this. For those of you who used to complain about the WAL pads, there's no pads on this. They had to put their elbows on a chalk line. So now we got those big, wide, fluffy elbow pads. Yeah. Old school arm wrestlers, you get a chalk line. And no pin pads. So I'm guessing you're primarily back pressuring. I can't imagine you would hit side pressure to keep your elbows on that chalk line. So, like I said, this match goes for, almost for 24 hours, right? They go back and it goes back and forth. Santiago was off center 2 or 3 times. I think he was like 3 inches off vertical before he won it back. They said, as the passage in the book comes up with, they were locked forearms straight for the 2 days. So I'm guessing they're mostly rising back pressure. Wasn't actually there before Santiago actually wins. So good win for him. And then the rest of the book wraps up where Santiago then becomes an old man and he goes fishing in a boat out off the coast of Cuba in the Gulf Stream, and he catches a fish. Here's my attributions, or my sources for the stuff in case I get into copyright problems, quoting and showing those famous paintings in that book. All right, kids. Hope you're enjoying these arm wrestling stats videos. When I was putting this one together, I just had an idea how I think I can improve them. So I'm going to have to think about that when I do the next one. And Eric Usin's keeping the King of the Table updates current on his on a website. So I rely on that to make sure I get all the matches covered. So, and then of course, the East vs. West website has all the results going. So between those 2 websites, that's how I get the matches for them. I hope who's ever keeping those updated continues to do so, or else these arm wrestling stats are going to get a lot more difficult. Like I said, I got a few ideas on how to improve them, make the information a little more useful, maybe interesting. Other than that, you know how we always end it. Call your mama. This is my mom. If you can't call your mom, I feel for you. That happens. It's sad. So if you can't call your mom, get a hold of somebody. Tell them you love them. Thanks, kids. Bye.